Your personal policy won't cut it. If the insurance company doesn't know that you're renting out the space, you could be in deep trouble. Hello, and thank you for joining the My Insurance People channel. It's your agent here, CF. Today we're going to talk about landlord policies and how they differ from renters policies. We talked about renters last time, and in the top corner you'll see a link to that. Owning a rental property is a smart investment, but it can also be a big risk if you're not insured correctly. Landlord insurance isn't just about the bricks and mortar of the dwelling, it's about your property, protecting your finances, and for peace of mind. We're going to dispel some confusion here. Your landlord policies differ from your homeowner's policies quite a bit, especially due to rental situations. Here at My Insurance People, we help landlords secure the right policy. We have a lot to go over, a lot of coverages to discuss, and to tell you what is excluded from your landlord policies. Now let's get into it. What is landlord insurance? Landlord insurance is designed specifically for landlords or property owners that rent out their spaces or their dwellings. Covers the buildings itself, any other structures like garage or sheds on the property, and can also insure the property owned by the landlord inside of the dwelling. We'll take one step deeper into what's covered on a landlord policy. On your coverage forms, you'll see your dwelling coverage, your other structures coverage if one exists on the property, and your personal property or landlord property coverage on your policy form. Dwelling coverage, of course, covers a structure due to damage from a storm, fire, or accident. Your other structures coverage, of course, again, is your detached garage, your sheds, or your outbuildings on the property. Sometimes, but not all the time, landlords choose to have a landlord property coverage or personal property coverage, which would include your appliances or any furniture left for the tenant to use. So why does landlord insurance matter? First of all, it will cover your initial investment, which is the dwelling. Liability risks are real, and they always go back on the homeowners or the dwelling owners or the landlords in these liability claims. Accidents, injuries, and lawsuits can arise from the lack of liability coverage. Your personal policy won't cut it. If the insurance company doesn't know that you're renting out the space, you could be in deep trouble. Even if your tenants change, your risks change. Everybody has different lifestyles and everybody has different habits. A lot of other coverages can be added to your landlord policies. You can increase the liability limit. I always recommend at least $500,000 in a landlord liability limit. There's also other coverage for wrongful eviction, wrongful entry, libel, or slander lawsuits related to landlord actions can also be covered and added on your policy. Another very important coverage is loss of rental income. If there's a loss that's being repaired, or if you're repairing the home and the tenant cannot stay, you are losing rental income, and there's coverage for that. Standalone policy that we also recommend for landlords is umbrella insurance. This is the liability limit that goes above your liability limits on your landlord policies. Just like most policies, you can customize all your options. You can buy more or less coverage, but we ask that you call us so we can identify your risks. Now let's talk about the money and how much it costs for these landlord policies. Of course, it depends on the coverage that you choose and the coverage that we bind. Most of all, your landlord policies are going to be a little more expensive than your homeowner's policies. Again, because you have a tenant renting your dwelling. We can also add multiple units on one policy. You could own 5 rental dwellings and we could have those on one policy for you. Landlord policies are often known as dwelling fire policies, and each form from least to greatest can cost more. So a dwelling fire 1 is going to cost less than a dwelling fire 3. Dwelling fire 3 is going to give you much more pronounced coverage as a landlord. I've seen a dwelling fire as low as $400 for the year, and I've seen a dwelling fire 3 as high as $2,500, depending on where it's located and how far it is and how much the dwelling is worth. Discussing cost, I've seen a dwelling fire 1 as low as $400 for the year, and I've seen a dwelling fire 3 as high as $2,500 a year. There's a lot of variables that play a part. 1 would be how far away from the nearest fire station. 2 would be how much or what is the value of that dwelling. And 3 would be how you use the dwelling. Landlord policies are also known as dwelling fire policies. On dwelling fire policies, we focus on the structure, liability, and certain property limits. Here at My Insurance People, we deal with numerous landlords and different types of dwellings in different areas. So we think that you should call us so we can discuss what your risk might present and what risks need to be covered on your properties. Again, we thank you all for watching. I'm sure some questions will arise. We'd be glad to answer those. If you would like to give me a call at 540-401-6789, that would be great. Or if more convenient, you can email me at cf@myinsurancepeople.com. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out our other socials. Thank you.